Hi, my name is Suryati Az'linda binti Suruji. Today I want to present my slide presentation on occupational disease. So my lecturer name is Madam Roslyn Haji Basran. So my subject is Introduction Occupational Health. So for introduction, for my slide is and case study background focusing on leptospirosis within the town service in bracket waste management industry in Malaysia. So in the focus is like garbage collectors, handling domestic, commercial and industrial waste daily. And then town cleaners responsible for sweeping roads, clearing debris from public precincts and cleaning wet markets. Drainage workers manually visiting and clearing clogged drains and sewers, landscapers maintaining public parks and planting vegetation in soil that may be damp or contaminated. So next for my slide is why this case is important in occupational health. We have three here: high seroprevalence rate, underreporting and misdiagnosis, and then the neglected disease factor. So as for high seroprevalence rate is service workers have significantly higher risk of contracting the disease than the general public. Studies have indicated a seroprevalence rate of approximately 24.7% among these workers, with garbage collectors and town cleaners being the most vulnerable groups. In the occupational health context, leptospirosis is a great mimicker. Its early symptom this is for underreporting and misdiagnosis. So its early symptom is fever, headache, and muscle pain are often misdiagnosed as the common flu or dengue fever. For a worker, a delay in correct diagnosis can lead to Wills disease, organ failure, which has a high fatality rate. So for the neglected disease factor, despite being a notifiable disease under Malaysian law since 2010, the invisible nature of the bacteria means that many workers do not realize they are being infected through minor cuts or splash while doing their routine jobs. This case study highlights the failure of current administrative controls like training and the over-reliance on PPE that is often not waterproof or properly maintained. So next, about case details. Disease name is leptospirosis. Right. Common name red urine fever. This means penyakit kencing tikus. Classification: it is a zoonotic disease, meaning it is transmitted from animals to human. Cause of the disease: the primary cause is the Leptospira interrogan bacteria. The reservoir infect animal carry the bacteria in their kidneys. The medium the bacteria are excreted through the urine of these animals into the environment. Survival: the bacteria can survive for months in a warm, stagnant water or damp soil condition common in Malaysia's tropical climate. So next, How it's become a workplace hazard. In an occupational context, leptospirosis becomes a biological hazard when the work environment facilitates the transmission from the environment to the worker. Entry points. The bacteria enter the worker's body through broken skin like cuts, scratch, or even softened skin from long immersion in water, or mucous membranes like splash into the eyes, nose, or mouth. Environmental factors. Poor pest control at the workplace, like attracting rats and a lack of proper washing facilities, turn a manageable risk into a critical hazard. So next, about workplace description. Municipal waste management. We have looking at municipal waste management company like BKL, MBPJ. So for setting, urban environments including back alleys, wet markets, and residential drainage system. And then workforce, a mix of general laborers, truck drivers, and drainage cleaners. Nature of work, manual handling, lifting bag that may, may be leaking contaminated floods. Submersion is drainage workers often have to step into tight, deep, stagnant water to clear blockage. Shift work. Cleaning often happens late at night or early morning when rodent activity is at its peak. So next, epidemiology of the case. How the disease occur in the workplace. We have three: environmental trigger, the breakdown in safety, and occupational neglect. So for environmental trigger, mass outbreaks occur following heavy rainfall or flash floods, like common in urban Malaysia. So rainwater flushes out redness in sewers, causing the leptospira bacteria in bracket like from red urine to concentrate in stagnant puddles and clog drains where employees work. So for the breakdown in safety is in this case study, the disease occurred because workers were clearing a backlog of waste in a wet market area. The workers were using standard clothes, gloves, and sneakers rather than waterproof boots, allowing contaminated water to soak through their skin for several hours. And then for occupational neglect, a lack of wash-up facilities at the site mean workers at their mills with contaminated hands, leading to accidental ingestion of the bacteria. So for next, my slide is about exposure route and impact. Primary exposure route: percutaneous in bracket skin entry. The bacteria enter through microcuts, abrasions, or skin that has become macerated from being wet for too long. Secondary exposure route: mucosal entry, splashes of contaminated water into the eyes, nose, or mouth during high pressure hosing or heavy lifting. Internal impact: once the bacteria enter the bloodstream, they spread to the liver, kidneys, and central nervous system causing systematic inflammation. So next, number of workers affected. We have two category and impact data. So for category, we have total workforce exposed, confirmed illness, temporary disability, permanent disability, and death. So for impact data, 150 workers, drainage and waste collection departure, 12 workers test positive via mass microscopic agglutination test, 10 workers required 14 to 21 days of hospitalization and recovery, 1 worker developed chronic kidney disease during long-term dialysis, and for that is 1 worker died due to pulmonary hemorrhage, lung bleeding. So for control measures, improve control measures for leptospirosis. We have eliminating stagnant water, repairing broken drainage infrastructure to ensure water flows freely, preventing the accumulation of the bacteria in standing pools. So, two, substitution, replacing a hazard process with a safer one, like automate waste collection, engineering control, high pressure vacuum trucks, administrative control, health surveillance, and then personal protective equipment, waterproof apparel. Next, practical industry examples. So we have hierarchy level, engineering, administrative, and PPE. For practical example for waste industry for engineering is installing specialist drainage grates that prevent rats from entering or exiting the sewer system. Administrative: scheduling heavy cleaning during the dry season to avoid the higher bacterial load found in monsoon floodwaters. PPE: issuing micropore waterproof bandage to all workers to seal even the smallest scratches before a shift. So next, for conclusion, summary of key lesson is the case study of leptospirosis in the medical waste management sector provides several critical insights into occupational safety. Environmental hazard are dynamic. The risk of biological hazards like leptospira increases drastically with environmental change such as heavy rainfall and poor urban pest control. Safety protocols must be adaptable to these shifts. The importance of prevention. Prevention is the only viable strategy for leptospirosis because the bacteria are endemic to the tropical environment of Malaysia. So here my reference for my slide, and thank you.